Welcome back. In the last video, we explored hosting and what makes good hosting, then we went ahead and purchased a SiteGround account. As part of the sign-up process, we installed WordPress. In this video, we're going to configure and tweak the original WordPress installation a little bit before moving on to actually building out our podcast site. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is install an SSL certificate for tilfm.com. You can see here that we are using HTTP. As covered in an earlier video, it's important to make sure our sites are secure, and luckily, SiteGround allows us to do this for free. So from the account page of SiteGround, we're going to click Go to cPanel. cPanel gives us a multitude of tools to choose from when managing our website. But we're looking for one specifically, and that's Let's Encrypt. We can find that under the security heading. It'll be a little lock with what looks like a sunrise. We'll click Let's Encrypt, and then we'll be brought to an area where we can install a new certificate. We're going to make this a wildcard domain, which means that we can have a secure domain or SSL certificate not only for tilfm.com, but also www.tilfm.com or any other subdomains we might think of. We'll click Install and then Confirm. And now our SSL certificate creation request has been added to the queue in SiteGround. After a few minutes, we'll be able to refresh and see our Let's Encrypt certificate under the Manage Let's Encrypt Certificates area. And you can see the process doesn't take very long, but we do want to confirm this because when we move over to WordPress, we will need an SSL certificate for part of the configuration. So with our Let's Encrypt certificate confirmed, let's move over to the WordPress install. By default, this is what you see in WordPress. You have a dashboard with some information and some links on the side. If you have never used WordPress before, this could be a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, we're going to cover only the areas we need to for this course. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to the SG Optimizer plugin to the HTTPS config area. SG Optimizer is a plugin specifically for SiteGround, and this Force HTTPS area allows us to make sure that our SSL certificate that we just created is actually being used. So we're going to click on this X to turn it on, and then we're going to get logged out. We'll need to log back in again. And now our website is fully secure. In the rest of this video, we're going to go through the settings and make sure that everything is good to go there. So first, we'll click on the settings area, and you could see that we have a site title and tagline. Don't worry, we will change this in the next video. Our URLs, our email address, and a few other pieces of information. What we want to make sure we change here is the time zone. Our podcast will get published based on the time zone in our WordPress site. So you're going to want to choose your time zone from the list. I'm in New York, so I'm going to choose New York from the list. We're also going to make sure that our time and date formats are correct. This is the default for American date formats, and that's what I'm going to keep for this site. If you prefer a different format, you can choose that here. Then we'll click Save Changes. There's not much we need to cover under writing or reading. We're going to keep these at their default settings. And under discussion is where we manage comments. So again, we're going to keep the default settings, but if you want to manage your comments a different way, if you want to turn them off or turn off email notifications, you can do that here. The last thing we really want to touch on in this video is permalinks. We want to make sure that we're not using the plain permalink setting, which is a difficult to remember URL structure. Instead, we're going to go with post name. So our episodes will be structured as tilfm.com slash some URL friendly version of the post name. If it's called episode 1, it'll be episode dash 1. We'll go ahead and click Save Changes here. And now our WordPress site is ready for us to start adding content. In the next video, we are going to choose a theme for our website.